It's the 28th of January 2024. You're most welcome to the NILE CAST weekly news roundup on your West Nile television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name remains Ukumuringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. In a bid to bridge the gap in poor attitude among the young people, the Greater Nile Youth Forum, a non-governmental organization, has empowered 120 youths with mindset change training. This comes at a time where the number of youths have been involved in unlawful activities such as drug abuse, theft, idleness, among other activities due to the negative mindset. Take a look.
A total of 120 youths from West Nile have benefited from 2 days training on mindset change and hands-on skills development organized by Greater West Nile Youth Forum, a non-profit organization operating in Arua City. The youths who were officially passed out on 22nd of January 2024 undertook the training on 9th and 19th of November 2023 by a team of skilled professionals who shared their knowledge and experiences with the young people. George Ezama, the Executive Director, Greater Nile Youth Forum, says the training that mostly targeted the girl child aimed at empowering them so as to become self-reliant.
Now the target is empowering them to be self-reliant and become self-sustainable for their economic activity. And this time we did it deliberately. We had more ladies than men, because the population of the ladies around, of course, gets much more higher than that of men. And today, I want to report to you that since 19th up to now, we gave a grace period of around close to a month to monitor if they had picked and learned what we had taught for them. Around 80% of them have been engaged in small-scale businesses. Others are doing mandazi business, others are doing pancakes, others are doing other things, and they're keeping themselves busy.
Ezama, however, adds that there is need to continue empowering the boy child, who in most cases has been neglected, so as to ensure a society that is fully transformed.
Take a scenario where we have good girls who will grow up and the boy child is left out and they do not have matching husbands. A good girl with a bad husband. No? That is the challenge that we're going through. So we want to have a balanced kind of attitude and training for all the sex.
Some of the young people who attended the training shared their views on how it will impact on their lives.
The first time we had gone to IUIU for this training, it brought me a lot of change, most especially to my students. We came back to school and we had to write a report about this. They spoke a lot and they have learned a lot. In their reports, they say they're going to go back home and do something, hands-on activities, because most of them were from the new curriculum. They're really saying that they're going to do a lot, especially making pads. You know, some things you don't need to wait from parents.
Before I joined the training, I got a call from the ED saying, may you please come and attend this training with us? And I responded because I hoped that something good is going to come. And obviously, when you give your time for something which you really know that it will come, indeed it will not pass in vain. And as we attended training of the mindset change, it really did great. But when I sat and listened to the mentors who talked to us, from there I drove myself down and sat and say to myself, then if I'm to think of the first thing, yet this new change has come, I think I'm on wrong path. And now as we attended the training, I had to change my mind that I can do something on my own.
I'm a refugee and I'm so happy and glad to attend this program, and I've benefited a lot from this program. It has given me a lot of courage to pick up, and I've got a lot of ideas that will help me in the future. And maybe I'm a student and during the holidays I can use the ideas to help myself. Myself, I love agricultural work so much. So I think with the ideas I've got from here, I'll be able to do something to support myself from agricultural sector.
Maneno Maureen, the chief guest at the function, appeals for all the religious denominations to work together so as to achieve change in mindset among the young people.
All I can say to the youth is, it is very difficult to change a mind, especially for our youth today.
Yes.
In Arua,
When did you last?
because we are covered with many funny things, especially use of drugs, the moral life. I would basically say I'm thankful, I'm grateful to the church, especially the interreligious activities which are taking place now. That involves the Muslims, our Christians from the Anglican, which is being honored, actually taken care of by the Diocese of Arua under the Catholic Church. I am impressed that the Muslims are part of this change of mind.
The training of the youths on mindset change and skills development attracted participants comprising of Christians, Muslims, refugees and host community members drawn from the different parts of Arua City. Oraku Benson Pastore, Faris Majid, West Nile Television, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Nebi Central Market, whose constructions is estimated funding is over 31 billion shillings from the Africa Development Bank, is now covered with unfulfilled hope from the vendors as the construction works have not started since the financial year 2022-2023. Vendors are now questioning why the government is taking so long to construct for them a modern market like Gulu, Arua and Lira, among others. Alfred Jawok has more on that story.
Behind a surging walls, Nebi municipality promised to have started the construction works last year 2023, but that lot proved to be barren, occupied by only vendors who used the old buildings to host their commodities. It was the beginning of ill-fated government deals that shook housing in one of the poorest towns in West Nile region. In the past 7 months, the municipality authority has come under criticism on failed projects, even as thousands of market vendors languished in a rotting and unsafe buildings. Aided by the municipality cadre of developers made out, raking in billions of shillings for the work that has never been built, as vendors demand answers from their leaders over the matter. Last year, in March 2023, officials from African Development Bank, ADB, came and met Nebi municipality leaders, but left only empty hope with the broken old buildings where customers and vendors ask for immediate intervention to build a modern market like in other municipalities across the country. Overall, the government of Uganda, with support from African Development Bank, pledged that 31 billion shillings will construct over 1,200 stalls for the vendors, including sanitary facilities for both vendors and customers, but nothing has been realized. Jacqueline Uyirot Anishan, the chairperson of the Central Market Vendors Association, wonders why the government is taking long to construct for them modern markets like in Gulu, Lira, among others. She hopes that the construction work is cancelled and delayed to frustrate them. Uyirot further added that Nebi municipality leaders are not following up the process. She said vendors and customers have no place to put their commodities as others sit under sunshine, which expose them to health risk.
Here in the market, we don't know, because for us we come to sell, but the upper authority are the one to come and inform us why the work is not going on. why is it delaying? Because they made some promise last year and we are eagerly waiting for their report. Up to today, why they are not reporting to us that the work is not being going on due to a certain issue or due to a certain circumstance, or there is some problem hindering them to come and start the work.
When contacted to prove this, Geoffrey Ngiriker, Mayor Nebi Municipality, confirmed that the market construction works have not been started, but blames a contractor who has been awarded the contract to construct a new site where the vendors are to be relocated. Ngiriker appealed to the vendors to be patient as he makes a follow-up on the matter.
Main advice to our people is let us continue preparing for this market construction. Particularly, my concern is with the partners who are constructing the relocation site. Please, I advise and request, please don't hear from other people. Come to me, get the right information. I don't want you to begin rushing when now the construction has come and now you are rushing to construct quickly. It would not be good. Let us go slow and do that. But otherwise, in general, I want to thank you for your patience, but we are working together with the government to see that this market is constructed soon.
Nebi Central Market glistens with the old buildings, its intense poverty rate that no other markets in the country has been since in the first decade of 20th century.
This is the gate to the Central Market, which is supposed to be under construction. But according to the leadership of this municipality, the work has not yet been started. We asked why. The mayor said they are still waiting from the government as they lack funds to construct the new market. However, some of the vendors who are here, they are supposed to relocate. But before the construction of the site, the vendors are still here and they're also wondering why this market has not yet started the construction. And as I talk now, you can see maybe Central Market hosts over thousands of vendors, including the people who move and sell their goods within the market, and even those who sell beans, bananas, and so on. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening, women in the Acholi sub-region are taking the mantle to transform farming from subsistence to commercial agriculture. In this new revolution on poverty, young women are massively engaging in themselves in training in tractor operation and maintenance to ensure tractors that are being supplied to the community in the region by both the government and the private sector are put to good use to expand the agricultural production in the region. Stephen Okello has more on this story.
Traditionally, Acholi women are obstructed from other activities like plowing garden, using oxen, or even using tractors, as many believe that such work are meant for men. These have not only denying Acholi women from expressing their potentials in transforming agriculture, but also it has affected their productivity on land use.
So I decided to do a unique thing because the girls are very few in operation. Like in Bantua, we are only 2 girls, but 13 boys. So I got that confidence to come and do it.
Prosi Abalo explained how our new decision is expanding on the land use of our families and that of our neighbors.
People normally say that girls are not capable of doing other things, and I just came to show other people outside that everything is possible for everyone, and that's how I came to this training. And this training as an agronomist, doing a mechanic, oral mechanization will give me that hope, that courage, and that experience of operating in a bigger farm.
Samuel Opio, an agricultural engineer, says over the years, government and private sectors have been supplying Acholi sub-region with number of tractors and farm machineries upon a limited number of well-trained operators and maintenance experts.
They are joining commercial farming, whereby they are buying tractors, they are buying agricultural machineries, and there is a big challenge that I've seen. Number one, they are buying tractors, even the government is giving tractors, but people are lacking knowledge on how to maintain. Just why I've come in, we have few mechanics for the tractors, we have few operators who are competent.
Pastor Peter Kingwara, one of the farmers in Noya district, says the limited number of tractors operators in the region have forced the majority, especially those who are transforming from subsistence farming to plant-led, leading them to serious losses, which have always frustrated them.
Tractors that we wanted as a local community are not so much available. First of all, those who own farms, they first cultivate their gardens, and then you, as who do not have the tractors and other things, comes a little bit later. So the issue is the technical people.
In a bid to try and bridge the gap, Samuel Opio is currently using his garage to train young youth in tractor operations and maintenance. According to Opio, the demand for tractor operators is overwhelming.
They can call me during the season. 5 clients, they wanted me to go and repair their tractors. Remember, I will attend 1 or 2. Those 3, the times will be running, and definitely it will affect their loan and it will affect their growth. So I wanted to create more opportunity to youth and also to support tractor owners.
Through his initiative, Rubanga Tuayaro, which means God is able, Tractor Garage, Opio has transformed several young people as he trained and deployed them to support the commercial farmers in the region. These youth have gradually started extending the practice of commercial agriculture to their family, an initiative which is now improving on the land use and land productivity in the regions. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening, expectant mothers and Boda communities surrounding St. Angal Luke Hospital joined the rest of the members of the public with excitement to welcome the donation of an ambulance from the Italian Episcopal Conference. Alfred Jawok has more on that story.
Many residents, especially the women in Angal Hospital, have joined the rest of their colleagues to express excitement over the donation of ambulance, saying it has come timely since transport of referral cases have been their biggest challenge, particularly during labor. The ambulance registration number UBP 623Z was donated by the Italian Episcopal Conference through the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Pumonyo Kurash. Jessica Awashango Obote, resident of Angal Trading Center in Angal Nyaravutan Council, Nebi District, commended the Italian Episcopal Conference for the donation, saying she nearly lost her grandchild at birth due to lack of transport. She says she is very happy for the ambulance because many women will benefit very much from this ambulance. Fred Bijik, a border rider in Angal Trading Center, said it is very rare for some organizations to donate an ambulance, but added that what Italian Episcopal Conference has done will never be forgotten in the history of Angal because it is the first time they are receiving such an offer.
Awaju komedi awaju boda boda dano mara yana mbule ngomaro ojo ngolo pinja bai mara mumari ngiwa yo omina ude ogame nebi sawa no ngiwanya wa kizi wo kinebi wo ngiwanya oni gini bang dara go ka omine go dano no wani na mukale ne kwati na mbule jang ye para boda boda Wadong para lali, dong wajung mijon, kurang ngalang oh ni karabe, orian meleng. Wakala wajjo pri, lemu toni wa, wamena wabeli ye mal, wajjo kurang ba, deju kweri yuwa. Yo bilang apa, ambulance wajjo le ni ne.
Meanwhile, Alfred Masendi, a board member of Angal Hospital, who handed over the ambulance to the parish priest Angal Catholic Parish, appealed to the hospital administrators to use the ambulance well for its purpose. Masendi assured the patients and other communities that the ambulance will not be for free, but at affordable rate to transport patients referred to other hospitals like Arua, Lachio, and Mulago.
Receiving a new ambulance, and we have received a new ambulance and together with the funding and support specifically for the community of Angal. And this ambulance was offered to us by the Italian Episcopal Conference at a total of about 160 million internationally. And this was to help the community. It is a project aiming at reducing purely maternal mortality death, looking at the children and the mothers who suffer during referral. So this ambulance is to capture the areas that will be able to support the community that we are working for. Maybe this week Zombo and then the greater Zombo, including Mario Kolo. So we received this ambulance on behalf of the diocese, and we have received it from our Lord Bishop Raphael, who gave it to us, and today we are able to hand it over to the parish priest who received it and we hand it over to the hospital. We believe this ambulance will go a mile and will be able to support a couple of issues that are affecting our community in terms of health. And we pray that the community are able to receive it well. When they receive it well, God shall do that. So we believe that the community that has given us the Italian Episcopal Conference, and then also Shane, will be able to appreciate, and we also appreciate them equally because they don't know us, but we are able to know them from their hands. They are able to extend to us. We thank everybody, we thank our leadership, we thank the church, we thank the government and the community of Angal, and the community all over in the diocese.
However, Reverend Father Robert Ochola Lukuya, the parish priest Angal Catholic Parish, is optimistic that the ambulance will address the rampant cases of mortality rates in the hospital, since some cases which need referral were a challenge.
Very happy to have received this ambulance because I've seen for myself the need of the people here. So many times cases of referrals and so on and so forth, where there is real need for an ambulance, but was not there. So we believe that this one ambulance, though it's only one or complementing on the other, will help a lot in the referrals. And we hope that this will help to save a lot the life of our people. We hope the people will take good care of it. People, the community, happy as they are, will also be cooperative, collaborating with the administrators. We thank also very much the donors who have supported us and therefore have made us acquire this ambulance.
The brand new ambulance was procured at a tune of 165 million shillings and it will be based in Angal Hospital. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. The security operatives in Arua City, led by the Central Division Arua City Deputy Resident City Commissioner Ezamaham Muzamel, recovered an illegal gun with 18 bullets. The gun was identified as a pistol, was recovered days ago through a dialogue. Osuta Yusuf has more on the story.
The gun identified as a pistol was recovered days ago through a dialogue. The Deputy Resident City Commissioner for Central Division Arua City, Mr. Zamaham Zamil, who spearheaded the recovery of the gun, asked other group of gangs who are still having guns to come out and surrender the guns to security operatives in exchange for pardon. He rallied them to join fruitful programs of government like Myoga and PDM in order to have a productive life.
You leave that bad activity. There are projects of Myoga, Youth Livelihood, PDM, which you can benefit. And when you come peacefully and say that I have been a wrong person, today I have reformed, I want to be part of the community, we can always look around to see how you can fit and also benefit. Based on that, I have started engagement last week with a few people. I got some intelligence information from a few community members that there are boys who are dangerous in town. I got concerned. I started approaching them. I go to you, I said, no, if you are really one, you come out, and if you have bad things, even if it is a knife, if it is a nail that you use to terrorize people at night, you give it. We shall pardon you because you have reformed. One person labored himself said, no, I have used old pistol whom I kept for some quite more than 5 years, but it had somehow been rotten because I kept it badly. When I went to Sudan, left it here. I want to hand over it to you. He said, you bring it. He brought it with 18 bullets. The magazine and there were 15 rifles inside plus 3 which were in pieces. So I got concerned. I informed the DPC, I informed the CISO. Then equal, I made my senior aware. I brought this thing, I hand over it today in the hands of the IO of 55 Battalion in the presence of also my senior RCC in his office. I gave it. It is a very big achievement to the security fraternity and even to the community. Because if now our approach can make the wrong people come open and declare that I have a gun, or I have even a knife, or I have a panga, which I used to attack people at night and rob, then that's the way to go. We need to have engagement with the community, whether in churches, in mosques, even during the sports hours where the youth are, we talk to them. These are human beings, we can always talk to them. They will bring these things. And I now want to urge the public and even the security fraternity, we need to share ideas and the method how we can approach some of these issues so that we clean the town in a very peaceful manner. And those who resist our approach, that's when we can go full force and engage with the military and police to see how we can handle it. So my main objective here is to make people aware, since this is a serious and sensitive matter, I don't want it to be undercover, because I am not meant to keep guns unless it is officially registered. So I got it, I kept it for like 3 days. People were a bit busy. By today I made sure that I hand over to the rightful people. So that's why I didn't want to put it undercover. But because the person who received it, his work is not supposed to be exposed. Could not accept to come and give a speech and pronounce himself, but I have handed over to him.
Osuta Yusuf, National Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories this evening. Farmers in Parambo Sub-County, Nevi District have challenged their leaders to consider being transparent to save the farmers from losses that they have incurred due to the lack of transparency in prices of cotton this year. The farmers are calling upon the District Production Department to intensify its role to ensure that cotton prices are safeguarded for the local farmers, since they are exposed to too much roaming in cotton buyers with unpredictable prices during the season. Alfred Jawok has more.
The farmers also call upon the district production department to intensify its regulatory role to ensure that cotton prices are safeguarded for the local farmers, since they are exposed to the much-roaming cotton buyers with unpredictable prices during this season. The farmers raised the issues today, 23rd of January 2024, after sections of them promised to abandon cotton farming due to its unstable prices in the country. Mr. James Oyergiu, the coordinator Paromba Sub-County Farmers Association, said that the farmers have not benefited as they expected cotton prices to be good in the region. According to him, farmers were subjected to miscalculations due to lack of transparency from companies buying cotton in the district.
Make wabeneno nya edoko eshalobe libemito ni lutu wa luta isoroni ka wano chalo furupamba ka wafuru wawilo yat wawilo pin matongtong chalo kwer wawilo lopanga watimo pin matongtong ento ka wadugo neno nya di dojikelo bei maludi konyo wango. And then in Wanganya, Wayan Bedu Nyado, Wawake, Nando, food dong, Gorare Madong, Walori Kilo. Piramo Goraka will the Ludi dong, Yanu Pamba. But Nang Pamba, Chalo Bedu, cash crop moi, Wadanu Parombo, Wange Midune, Wange Kitamasho local school fees, Wange Kitamanyo, Wakonyo Kodawia moi, New Doki thing, Matongtong, Wanwanganya, Vapor Pamba, Konyo Wadongo. Don't come on your government. Now, me to Conwa, you think about government, what the down near government of the Conwa go Pirangon and cutting you to tax. You will do my willow, and then Gigam get the bait again. Mother Ludu protecting one, what do me take the Domo Furupamba. Maketu Wanwang Berne, Ketu Wanwanga, a Wiamashi the Somo, a Wiama Beshama Bear, a Wiama Wateriodia. Din ma enune ma anachopu ejishal owosha arombu James mijupundeng Parombu Sub-County lengo ira ka government show protecting government iormu pinu kage mitonya Furupamba chalo ajar Furupamba matek i Parombu Sub-County awe mitu kamai government o ket tax migi iwi will pamba and then gindre magi controlling bay ketu echa nang gibe controlling one wadano migi chalove one fur pamba manda mi Parombu Sub-County but kitema kawoni ni kitema jibe nywaru wa inu wangonya ngati ma ebe ketu silengi Dakario ma ebe ketu silengi Lifachel ma ebe ketu silengi Lifachel Dakabish ma ebe ketu kamai lembene elengungo iwa dong wak mwati kakare chito kakama ngati moku chopo konwa iye itenge mi Furupamba kununyo itenge mi konwa kuyat ko kwer ko dango ebine konwa pirango wak mwati duongi eni nwaru wa joru Furupamba.
Nicholas Oshandi, one of the cotton growers in Nebi district, said the issue of standards and quantities should not be undermined as cotton farmers demand for consideration from bulk buyers and middlemen. He cited an example of the importance of post-harvest handling of grain as key to ensuring marketable produce. Oshandi expressed his dismay to the cotton buyers who have lowered the prices.
Matala ni apamba alwango nya di machukono wange pay commission wa kwa furo kwa wango sende hiyo ma sende hiyo wa sholo ko fisi gi wa temo kono development kan gi ni demo kwa gero kono endo ka woni ni pamba odo ko ni marach matala nya beine ka jo ngole do do lore do bi kanyo do ngole ni fario da ka bi do do ile ni fashia ma eni ya shabda ra fu muno le banga alwango nya di machukono ya ko me weka ko do pe damu ke ta weka fure do almost ikora abora fure do ngo e o damu ke to do kadi chulo fisi le do ko te kira ene la manyo from farmer anwangu gira nyado kura food body munga kura mera chama una bila chama.
Meanwhile, Francis Wunda Omer, the district councillor Paramba Town Council, promised to move a motion in council to prioritize community sensitization on producing standard commercial agricultural products in order to benefit from the growing market of cotton products. Wunda equally blames middlemen for frustrating cotton farmers in Nebi district.
As many farmers, as leaders, we have always raised this concern to see how this matter can be addressed. But to some extent, I'm seeing that it is I don't know if it is the government itself failing to drop out in the cotton price, or it is a certain syndicate that is being played within the cotton organization. This is what we are to find out. Of course, for many years, we as farmers, and also as leaders, we are taking cotton to be the most important cash crops. As many farmers, they are also saying, I think they have also keep some, and they have also told you some that maybe have also taken concern. Here we took cotton as an important cash crop that can at least elevate poverty in our area. But our discipline, for the last 5-10 years, cotton has now become for us a problem. And then most of the farmers have lost interest in it. That is from the price itself. For the year, a cotton development organization released a price like for this year, we are buying cotton 2,000. And now this year, the price has dropped for 1,200. Besides the 1,200, nobody is even willing to buy the cotton. These are now our understanding bits. So, as leaders, we are also advocating the government to address it. And if it fails, I must say this, that we can talk to our farmers that at least they use it because we can start with ourselves, put in market for their resources, and at the end we don't get a proper outcome of what we want to get a good result.
A kilogram of cotton goes for 1,200 shillings, unlike in the 3 years ago when it was 2,000 to 300 shillings. Cotton is one of the major cash crops in Uganda, especially northern Uganda, but the drop in prices has driven many farmers to opt for cassava growing since it is marketable. The issues that have previously been unpredictable are now predictable as more cotton buyers are moving door to door buying cotton at their own prices. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. In a bid to make government release the struggle in poverty eradication through programs such as MYOGAP, PDM and others, Maricha district leaders on Wednesday the 24th of January 2024 trained various stakeholders on financial literacy. Representatives from the 3 banks were selected to teach the locals on the aspect that is lacking in many of the beneficiaries who have misused the government funds. Take a look.
The leaders in Maricha district on the 24th of January 2024 convened a meeting to train various stakeholders, among whom included the parish development model circle leaders, market vendors and schools, among others, on financial literacy. The training that took place at the district council hall attracted over 100 participants drawn from different parts of the district. Koliba Kotev Monica, the deputy resident district commissioner for Maricha, says the training aims at equipping the locals on financial literacy, whom the government is already empowering through the parish development model and other initiatives.
The intention here is to enhance livelihood development at household level, at individual level, and enhance wealth creation. The fact of asking and saying how much money do I have in my pocket, whether I have my own land, whether I've constructed my own house, whether I've been able to send my children to school, whether I get money on daily basis from business, whether I'm able to make 1,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings, 100 shillings, and this money goes to my pocket, and how I use this money very effectively. very effectively for causing change at my household level and at community level. So this is where the emphasis of the training has been.
According to Jabo Gayo William, a representative of Chamber of Commerce in the district, says that there is need for training of the beneficiaries on financial literacy, since most of the government interventions on poverty eradication have been failing due to lack of knowledge on financial literacy.
It was discovered all these monies the government invests here has very minimum impact. The reason is what the banks have said.
Similarly, Pamale Christine, the district commercial officer who also doubles as the focal point person for Myogan Parish Development Model, says that most of the programs have been failing since the community members have often misused the monies due to lack of financial literacy knowledge.
Actually, before such programs are rolled out to the community, there are always sensitizations organized for the community to tell them this program, like the Myoga and the PDM, this revolving fund, which is to improve their livelihood for wealth and job creation. Much as these sensitizations are done, at times the coverage may not be that adequate, and once such funds are given to the community, the discipline of usage of these funds is not proper. Oftentimes the complaint about that the financial literacy component is not being well sensitized.
Some of the trainees who attended the training said this about the exercise.
Right now we are from the workshop with the bank people. There are 3 bankers, a group of bankers. So they trained us about how to use that money, PDM. PDM money, we received them. And how to use it is, you need to plan first before. So we are to use it meaningful and to improve our families, our communities, and we need to use it in a good manner.
I think the training is very, very important. It has addressed a lot of issues. One, on enterprise selection, because many people didn't know which enterprises are good and they're marketable outside there. They were just choosing anything. From the training we learned that Marata can specifically do a lot of things. Because one, we complained that we have challenges of land, but they said piggery, they talked of poultry, which you can do within a small radius of land. That's one thing we learned about this. The presence of the banks also helped us to learn a lot. The questions which members have been asking, the banks also answered them in terms of the money which is kept to maintain the account in the bank was also answered very well.
Andrew Albert, the KCB Arua branch manager, implored the beneficiaries to invest their monies into right income generating investments so as to reap big.
The message I can tell them is they need to put these resources in productive ventures like poultry, like piggery, like goat rearing, like even in agriculture. They can invest in some of high value crops like onions. Yeah, so they need to identify high return venture so that they can invest in them.
Some of these government interventions such as Emyoga, Entandikwa, Operation Wealth Creation, and others are yet to attain the intended purposes due to failure to first educate the beneficiaries on financial literacy before disbursing the funds. Farish Majid, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Honorable Kuruchin Grace Freedom, has appealed to the Ugandans, especially youths, to practice agriculture as the NRM ruling government's target is to elevate people out of poverty in the country. The minister made this appeal at St. Andrew's Church of Uganda, War Okemu, during the diocesan convention led by the Bishop of Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozele Awinju. Alfred Jawok reports.
The State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Kucheny Freedom, said his government, a lot has been done to fight poverty through agriculture, socio-economic transformation among others, and now religious leaders should mobilize their followers for government programs that government has introduced. The young people will get out of poverty and their livelihoods will change.
Economic activity which can be embarked on is trade and investment, and this we have a rich soil where we grow coffee, where we grow bananas, we grow Irish potatoes, onions, cabbages, tomatoes. This what I'm mentioning is very, very lucrative in this region, to the extent that when I have interacted with some people, and even recently, a woman who got 1 million shillings from PDM was able to cultivate onions, and she was able to get 2.8 million. This is the type of investment we would like to look at individual level, but also at a level where we can attract a bigger investment, like factories. We have tea that has come up, and the president and the government has promised among 6 factories that will be built for tea in Uganda. One is in Zombo district.
She further noted that as the National Resistance Movement NRM celebrates its 38 years in power, the government still encourages youths to practice agriculture to fight poverty as they grow coffee, banana, onions, among others. Kucheny realized that NRM achievements cannot be taken for granted, and also she applauded His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for his good leadership since 1986.
The government has brought us 38 years counting. Would like to appreciate the President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, very much for his leadership and wisdom. We want to congratulate him upon 38 years in the party and in the government. We want to thank all of us at all levels, the members of parliament, the RDCs, the LC5s, the civil servants, the business community, the women, the men, the youth. Would like to congratulate all of them and wish them a very, very fruitful celebrations today. But looking forward, we would all like to work together for a better Uganda, for a better district.
The minister promised the people of Greater Nebi that the roads from Nebi Golivura Road will be worked upon as feasibility studies have been done, but just a matter of time to work on the roads. The minister equally joined the rest of the country to appreciate President Museveni, district leaders, and other people who love this country.
War Vura has not been implemented, but we know work is going on as well. This particular road has its feasibility study done already. What is remaining is just the budget. And this is where we all look to the president. Everybody has spoken. The LC1s, the leaders at the local level, the churches, the cultural institutions, the political leaders, we have all spoken. So we're just waiting for that day when the president will put the pen to paper to say this road must be constructed and this is the fund that is there. That is all we are waiting for. And once that is done, I think that should be enough to generate a lot of economic activities in this particular district to begin with, but also in Greater Nebi, because we are the center of Africa. We are the center of trade from DR Congo and South Sudan, but also from Kenya and Tanzania. All the trade, all the merchandise that go through Congo or South Sudan, they pass through here. So I'm looking at a very lucrative and very successful business which will benefit all of us.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is also the National Resistance Movement chairman, was the chief guest at the National Liberation Day celebrations held in Jinja. The National Liberation Day, held on 26th every year, marks the overthrow of the previous government by the National Resistance Movement on this day in 1986. This year's function was held under the theme, Building a Country We All Cherish, fits into the wider NRM Party Manifesto 2021-2026 as it commits to securing Uganda's future. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories this evening. Residents in the West Nile region on the 29th of January 2024 will receive free connection service under the project implemented by West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited through the government of Uganda to increase on the access of electricity in the region. Take a look.
The government of Uganda, in conclusion of the last phase of the Tipe contractor line extension project, together with the West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited, is rolling out the 3,000 free connection service project set to begin on 29th January 2024, targeting households and consumption points directly under and not more than 35 meters away from the service line throughout West Nile region. The 3,000 free connection service project being implemented by West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited is set to run for 6 months as a way to increase access to electricity in the region. During a press briefing, Wang Judith, the Public Relations and Communications Officer, West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited, is urging the public to actively embrace this golden opportunity to receive the free connection, which will require a payment of 53,480 Ugandan shillings for the inspection fee and the additional 5 preloaded units.
We are starting a free connection program, which will commence on the 29th of January 2024, that is next Monday. This program is targeting the consumers who are approximately 35 meters close to the pole, and by being free, I mean they'll be required to make just a minimum payment of about 53,484, which will cater for inspection and 5 preloaded units. You can pick application form from any of our office near to you. After filling the application form, you will be required to attach a photocopy of your national ID, the wiring certificate from a certified wireman, and also the map to your residence. You need to show us where your home is located. After doing that, you will be required to pay a sum of 53,484 into the Wendreco bank account. Do not give cash to any of, even if Wendreco staff or anyone, because we believe that when such programs come in, there are so many fraudsters who are going to rise up. Please keep a watch and be vigilant. Do not give your cash to anyone. Make sure that the payment you're making for Wendreco goes directly into Wendreco's bank account. This program is also not restricted, but for, like we said, all consumers who are next to the poles are encouraged. However, we are also encouraging those who are along the new lines to actively embrace this, since it's an opportunity that is golden for them to access electricity.
Engineer Kenneth Sigumba, the General Manager, West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited, is urging the general public to embrace these free connection services, as the government of Uganda is expecting to have the connections complete by the periods of 6 months.
There are 3,000 connections, and the connection, as we already know, is targeting people who are directly under the access line. So it's just a meter and a service cable dropped to your point of consumption. We don't have anything beyond this. No pole, I mean, we're not having any pole connections there. That means that we are strictly targeting people that are already under a line or within reach of a service cable. The standards for a service cable dictate that the service cable should not be longer than 35 meters. So it is safe to say that the free connection service is for households or consumption points that are not more than 35, or let's say 30 meters away from the service line. We will launch the project on the 29th. At the moment, we are just developing the process and the procedure, how this will be run. The government is expecting us to have the connections done in a period of 6 months. So we want to reach out to all people of Westland, especially those that are under the service line but have no access to electricity, to pick interest in this and let them express interest by filling an application form, which will be dropped at all our service centers around the region. There's nothing you need to pay for an application form. The real cost will come with inspection. The project is only covering what is required for a person to get electricity from the service line. That is the service cable and the meter. But we all know that a connection is way beyond that. You have to have internal wiring done in your home, and it has to, by all means, be expected to meet the standards. This specific project, we are also building capacity to make sure that there's no breach of standard. And so that requirement is outside the project. It's purely an expense that should be made by the customer. Do your internal wiring at your cost, meeting the standard as expected by the service provider.
This free connection service project that is funded by the government of Uganda and implemented by West Nile Rural Electrification Company Limited is set to begin on 29th January 2024 and will run for a period of 6 months in a bid to increase access to electricity in the region. Peace Ushaki, Okumuringa Christine, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And that, viewer, marks the end of the NILE CAST weekly news roundup only on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the NILE CAST to the end of the NILE CAST only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name's Okumuringa Christine.